Hi, I'm Connor Pendergrast, and welcome to episode 11 of Support Stack. So, Gabriela Passeri, welcome to Support Stack. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Connor. I'm doing very well.
Good. So, you are knowledge manager at AutoDS, and AutoDS has just started using Intercom and Intercom's Fin AI Agent. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
Lovely. And so I saw that you had a post on LinkedIn where you were talking about, as a knowledge manager, some of the things that you were doing to get started with Fin AI Agent. I'm always interested in those effective strategies and tactics for how to set up Fin AI Agent for success, especially because you can get a whole bunch of great work done without getting into the complexities of data and actions. So what I was hoping to talk to you about is, okay, well, what were you thinking about? So cast your mind back. What were you thinking about in that first switch to Intercom? What was it that you found you needed to tackle first? What were the priorities for you?
Yeah. Our main goal back at the time was to introduce AI into your chatbot in our replies because we are struggling with the same questions for agents. And it's a lot for them to take like common questions and easy ones for answer the user we have. So we thought that we needed AI for these small things like small questions, common questions, and everything that we can cover with our own knowledge base. So we decided to change to Intercom, that it is more robust than the previous one we are using. So we decided to change and start working with AI more closely.
Great, excellent. And so while you were doing that process of getting started with Fin and getting started with Intercom, there was something that came up that was a bit of a challenge for you, though. And I think this is probably something that anyone who runs a B2B business with integrations with other products is going to come across. So tell us about the first challenge that you saw when using an AI agent to talk to customers compared with human teammates talking to customers. What was the biggest challenge there?
I think like as all AIs works, they need their own prompt in their own language. So we're struggling to find some ways to work around questions that Finn was unable to answer correctly, like very accurate, you know? So this was the first blocker we found. Like we need to understand AI first. So to understand AI first, we need to build a document, a knowledge base that has this knowledge of AI first. So we decided to change all the articles we had back at the time. We had like 230 articles on the
Wow.
previous CRM. And now we only have 55 articles
Mm-hmm.
because they are more AI readiness. They have this tool, the way that we are building the article, it is for the prompt. It's like a prompt. The articles now, they are almost a prompt for Finn to understand.
Perfect. So we're going to cover generating and creating those articles in the second episode. So listener, watcher, viewer, click that subscribe button if you want to see the next episode with Gabriela, because that's I am also really interested to share that. One thing that you found though, when you were seeing, so I imagine it was from testing Fin, you were finding confusion between Fin and customers, or Fin and pretend customers, in terms of the questions that customers would ask and the language that they would ask. That's right?
Yeah, it's like, for example, I speak two languages. It is Portuguese and English.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about the language itself. It is more about a problem that couldn't map customer
Yeah.
language to our documentation terminology, the one that we use internal the company. So we built the articles with our own terminologies. And during the conversations we are analyzing things, we understand that the customer would say like, my products aren't showing up. And our own articles, the terminology for products were listings. So
Yeah.
we identified that the terminology was not the same.
Yeah. And what's interesting is I remember when I was a senior leader in customer support at Expensify, and Expensify had two classic examples of confusion between us. This is back in my day. This is before Fin AI Agent, and the challenge would be understanding between expenses and receipts. So customers would say, "Oh, I've lost my receipts," but what they meant was what we called expenses. Or they'd say, "Oh, I need to create a report," and we would never know. Do they mean a grouping of expenses, or would they mean an analysis and that sort of financial and analytics of spend? And I can't like I, I have definitely seen examples of Finn also struggling with that, just like you did. And the approach that you've taken, I think is really novel and a really great thing for people to learn from. In that, what did you do, Gabriela? How did you teach Finn what the difference between all these things are?
Oh, we started analyzing Fin conversation to understand how the user is using the terminologies. And then we create a glossary.
Mm,
So everything that's inside our own platform, all the features we have are there in the glossary. And also how the user refer to this same feature. So
yeah,
we build a document for Fin to understand each column, each term, definition, synonymous, avoiding confusion with the same wording, because inside our own platform, we also have wordings that are the
hmm
same. So we avoid this confusion with the features and also fields we have inside our own platform.
that's super. Okay, so now let's share your screen here. So okay, great. So we're looking perfect. This is perfect. So this is an example of a glossary. Now, first question, people, I think maybe other people don't feel this way, but I always find it really useful to know like the precision behind what you've done. So it looks like it's not a publicly available article. Is that correct? It's an internal article.
Exactly. It is internal and also enable it for Fin and Copilot.
Of course. Of course, because otherwise Finn wouldn't be able to see it and it'd be a bit pointless.
Exactly. This is the point, right?
Yeah. And so that's one aspect of it is you've created it as an internal article, not a public article. The other thing to note, it looks like, is you've created a set of glossaries. It's not just one glossary, you have multiple glossaries.
It's topic related. So this is the AutoDS platform in features terms. We also have for billing terms, orders terms, and other teammates we have inside the company. So we
Yeah.
covered everything for all the teams we have.
That's fascinating. That's great. So you use topics and is that the Intercom's Fin AI topics, or is it just informally the topics that you have?
So we do create each topic related with the theme categorization. And also from the reports, we saw that we needed for each one, each topic that theme is analyzing. So we create a
Yeah.
glossary for each one.
That's super. That's super. Okay, so you've got this glossary, and then you've got a lovely table here which Finn can read. So it's got term, definition, synonyms, avoid confusion with, and related terms. So, I mean, I imagine that just the term and definition is helpful, but the synonyms and avoid confusion with is really powerful and should be a really great way of Finn being like, oh, wait, hang on. That's so. I just talk us through an example. Talk us through an example of how Finn have you seen Finn apply this?
I have one good example, the synonymous and the avoid confusion with. Let me just scroll down a little bit and I will show you something that we realized.
Wow, it's a lot of terms, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's incredible. And this is just in one single topic.
Yes, one single topic. Because we have a lot of features. That's why this is the most large one. This was one thing, balance. This term, it is referring to a tool where the user can purchase balance inside the platform. However, balance is also a word for amount. So we are not using balance in any circumstances that is not related to the feature itself.
Okay. Yeah.
Only
Yeah.
feature. So the user are telling us, I purchased the FBA, but it's not saying balance. So explain thing, what is managed balance, what is the synonyms the user are using, and avoid confusion with the amount. Not balance is not just an amount, it is a feature.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And
That's
credits,
great.
another wording that is common, right? Credits.
Yep. Credits.
So we have two credits types. There is AI credits and auto order credits. And
Mm-hmm.
the tool here that you are seeing right now, it is to locate where the managed balance is and where is the AI credits, where is the
Mm-hmm.
auto for the credits because users are confusing because the terms are similar. So we
Yeah.
need to guide Fin to identify where is each one because here in the platform you only have icons, not the text. So Fin could not understand that this icon referred to managed balance. So we taught Fin that managed balance it is this one, AI credit is this one, and auto order is this one. And also not just in image, we also added text located in the top right corner of the screen header.
Yeah. You're telling Finn exactly where it is in that image. Yeah. And that's really interesting as well, because I bet that helps Finn to more accurately use screenshots when sending them back to customers. Because when we're recording in February 2026, and screenshots are only about 2 months. We've only been able to send them, or Finn has only been able to send them through Messenger and through email for about 2 months. So it's pretty new. But I bet this sort of guidance and this glossary really helps Finn to understand screenshots, but also to understand when to send appropriate screenshots as well.
Exactly. We do have this feature inside our own Intercom Fin. And the fun story about this one, we identify in a conversation, we are checking conversations with Fin, and a user only send a screenshot and asking,
Right.
how much balance do I have? And Fin
Okay.
wasn't unable to reply to the user because he couldn't
Because it
read
didn't have that.
the image. That's why we
Yeah.
create an image and also the guidance, what is, where is, and everything here.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many layers to this. It's so interesting because it is both the language side of it, which Finn is usually pretty good at, but it's getting very precise on what your customers can say and what you say based on your actual product. But also the visual side of it is really fascinating. And just giving a frame of reference for what an image should look like, because I've definitely seen confusion from Finn on like, okay, here's what they send a screenshot and the customer sends a screenshot and Finn is just like, oh, you're looking at this, and they're looking at something totally different. It's just,
Yeah.
maybe it's a third party tool. So yeah, that's fascinating. So I'm curious, I presume you've done some testing on how this improved things. Like, what were the signs for you that this was working well? Did you just observe it in the wild of customers interacting with Fin, or did you use the testing groups or the testing suite? What were the, like, how did you get to the point where you're like, this is good, this is working?
We need people for that because we need to manually check each conversation. So we started with the DSAT conversations and the low CX score to identify this type of conversation. So was 4 people analyzing the conversation and adding what thing answered wrongly, and then my team and we understand how we are going to do this. So we start brainstorming and we created the glossary. And this was a second part of the plan, like to present the UI to Fin.
Mm-hmm.
So I came to, let's try this way. Let's give Fin the instructions on how to read the platform layout.
Mm-hmm.
And we did, and we used the same question that the user did. We are not creating questions because we want to have the user wording, right? The user
Yeah.
terminology. So we tested. We opened a conversation with thing and tested and worked it
Mm-hmm.
like was amazing to see this working. We
That's
tested
so
a
good.
lot. Like we just give this one first, the text first, and then we realized we need the emoji because the other user we found only sending screenshots instead of asking questions. So yeah, was a very good one. Very good
That's
process.
super. Yeah, that's super. And I think two things to pick out of that. The first thing is you have to do your conversation testing. Excuse me, your conversation reviews. You have to do your conversation reviews. That's the only way to find the problems. And I like the targeting of both low CX scores as well as the low CSAT ratings. So the DSAT, the dissatisfied satisfaction scores. I think that's a great way of finding those problematic conversations.
Yeah, we
Uh,
started from that because it was a lot of conversations. We couldn't
yeah.
like see all the conversation with the capability we have inside
Yep.
now.
Even
So
with 4 people, it's still you can have thousands of conversations. Yeah,
create that
yeah,
SOPs and everything for this to make
right.
sure we were tagging each conversation and also analyzing how much we did resolve, how much we do have for resolving. It is a lot.
Yeah, yeah, that's brilliant. And then the second point to pick up from what Gabriela said is just to reinforce: use your customer's language. Literally copy and paste what they say. Don't imagine it. I found this myself yesterday and the day before. So I just set a new task live for a client, and I was like, this is great. I've tested it. I tested it using existing customer language. I tested it using my own words. I tested it in like probably about 15, 20 different ways. And yet, the first conversation that happened, it was just slightly unexpected, and Finn just got slightly thrown in it, and it ended up not resolving it appropriately, and it was very frustrating. It did get escalated to a human teammate, obviously, because it wasn't working out. But it was just one of those things where I was like, I have to remember that the whole point of this is to create great customer support experiences. It's not to create like some magical bot. The
This is
purpose of
our,
this is great customer support experiences, nothing
of
else.
course, this is our goal. And also we did create the glossary instead of creating articles on Hub Center because we have the terminology inside the platform. So you must use the same terminology as the platform in your articles. You cannot
Absolutely.
use the user terminology. So this way we identify that we need the glossary as internal article, not as a published one.
That's super. That's wonderful. So, Gabriela, you have very kindly written up this document as well, or written up this idea in a document. So, dear viewer, look down, just down there. There's a little link in there to a Google Doc that Gabriela has created for you. That's for both this episode and, again, teasing, click the subscribe button, the next episode that's coming out with Gabriela, which is all about the public articles side of it. So I'm really interested in how they went from, what was it, 250 to 50 articles, 300 to 50 articles?
I believe. I
Okay,
don't.
great. Super, super. This is great. Thank you so much for being here, Gabriela. Is there anything that you'd like to promote? Is like where should people follow your amazing work online?
Yeah, you can follow me on LinkedIn, Gabriela Passeri, and also from AutoDS because I'm working for AutoDS. So it is good for you to understand this amazing platform we have for sure.
Super. Well, thank you very much for joining us for another episode of Support Stack, Gabriela, and thank you, viewer, for watching. You can find my work at customersuccess.cx. You can join my week daily email list where I talk all about Fin AI Agent and the evolution of customer support teams as we get AI Agent into our support organizations. You can find that at customersuccess.cx/daily. And yep, that's where you'll find everything. Other than that, I'll see you next time for the next episode of Support Stack. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.